Hi everyone. I want to talk to you today about a really vital part of our somatic movement practice, and it would be so easy to leave this bit out, but if you did, you would really be missing out on something so beneficial. And we really want to make the most of the time we have available to us to do this practice, right? We want it to be really good quality practice. So, what is this essential piece? Lots of you will already know we always start and finish our practice by doing some sort of check-in. It might be checking in how we're feeling, what we're sensing as we stand. We might do it in lying down. There might be some movement involved, walking around, something like that. We're really just checking in to see what is present right now in this moment. And then at the end, we come back to similar sorts of checks to get a sense of how are things different. We also do little mini check-ins throughout the practice before and after a particular movement to see what's changed. We can get quite specific with these checks. But why do we do it? And wouldn't we fit in more movement into that valuable chunk of the day that we've put aside for our somatic movement practice? Wouldn't we fit more movement in if we just left out the check-ins? So somatic movement, many of you will know this already, is much more about quality than quantity. So we want the quality of what we do to be really good. Just doing lots and lots of movements is not going to cut it. It's not going to give us what we want. It's much more about the process of how we're doing what we're doing, what we're sensing as we move, than the end product in a sense. So, although missing out on the before and after check-ins would mean we could do more of the movements themselves, we would be missing out on something of such value that we'd actually be doing ourselves a disservice. And we don't want that. We don't want that. We want our practice to be as beneficial as it can be. So, simply put, our before and after check-ins help us to notice what has changed before our practice to after our practice. What do we sense that's different? How do we connect to the floor differently? We are trying to teach our brain something new in somatic movement. And so we want to see change. Change means different. Different means new. This is what we want. We're laying down new neural pathways in this work. We want things to be changing. So, as I just touched on, some of the things we might notice being different from before to after. Things like how we connect with the floor. So maybe you're lying on the floor and certain body parts are more or less heavily weighted. Certain body parts touch the floor that did or didn't before. If you're in standing, it might be how do your feet connect with the floor? Maybe you feel the weight differently through the 2 feet. Maybe it's more even afterwards, something like that. Often we get a difference in our sort of feeling of weightedness or spaciousness or sort of length through the soma. More balance from left to right. Maybe we just kind of get a sense of like there's less tension in particular body parts. Maybe certain body parts are positioned a little bit differently. And sometimes it's to do with sort of the awareness of, that was something new. I didn't know that about myself before. There are so many things that we might sense if we just give ourselves the chance. And we really miss out on those insights if we don't do the check-ins. And what we're really doing, if we skip them, is we are shortchanging ourselves. Just a few short moments or minutes at the beginning and end give back in absolute spades. So I'm really going to put that out there as an invitation. Start with a check-in, even if it's just a few moments down on the mat where you sort of say to yourself, how do I feel right now? How am I connecting with the floor? Where are the areas that feel a little bit tight? Where are the areas that feel comfortable? We want to notice those too. And then you can come back to those questions at the end to notice the changes that you have created through your practice. And you can celebrate that as well, of course. Celebrate all the little changes, the big changes. And that just helps to keep us a little bit more motivated as well as we do this practice. So I hope that helps to explain a little bit about why we do before and after check-ins. Give it a try. I would love to hear how you get on and enjoy your practice.